All right, everyone, we are back for step number 2 in the series, Start Wholesaling Houses Now. And guys, I'm so excited about this series, and I just want to tell you really fast, I'm not going, some of these I'm going to go really in depth, and some of these I'm going to try to keep as simple as possible because I don't want you overthinking it, right? Because that's what can happen. You get information overload, and then you're not taking action. So I want you taking action, and then as you are doing each one of these steps, use the comment section, guys. Like, go in there, tell me like what other questions you have about that, what you need help with, what you're struggling with, and I will get in there and personally help you through that. But you know, I want you taking action. So let's get into step number 2, and that is, as you see up here, value proposition. Remember, so you picked your market. Now we're going to start getting into actually going into the marketing, you know, talking to sellers, talking to buyers, all that stuff. So what is your value proposition? I never hear anyone really talking about this in wholesaling houses and, you know, real estate investing in the community. But this is very key, and this shouldn't take a ton of time or anything. Don't overthink this, but you know, you need to come up with who you are as a company, right out of the gate, and what you're offering to them. Okay, so what are you offering to the seller? That is really it. So that is our first point when it comes to building your value proposition. It is all about bringing value to the seller, and we'll get into the buyer stuff later. But for now, for the seller. Okay, value to the seller. Okay, so what are some examples of this? The most common ones that you're going to see are going to be, we pay cash, we pay closing costs. All right, no real estate commissions. You don't need an agent. You know, you can leave unwanted items behind. You know, all this stuff, right? So think about, obviously you want to do at a minimum those things, right? But we like going beyond that. Okay, so what makes you different? Okay, what makes you different? And this is going to get into our next point, which is think outside of the box. Okay, so we need to come up with some points in addition to what everyone else is doing that you offer. Okay, so whether that's trying to think of something not financial necessarily related, like you're willing to extend out contracts, right, for them to move out. So if you do a contract with them to make them feel more comfortable, you're at a seller's house or you're over the phone and they're like, yeah, but you know, and you'll get this a lot, by the way, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be out by then, yada yada yada. Well, Mr. Seller, that is okay, because guess what, we are all about your convenience and helping you and really solving your problem. So that's where we're coming from, and we're looking to serve you. So worst case scenario, if we get close to the actual closing date and you're not ready, it's okay. We can extend it out a little bit. Again, this is for your convenience. That is why we are here, to help you. So that does create some logistical issues potentially with buyers, but you just need to let your buyers know right up front and control that situation of what's going on, right? So be very transparent with everyone, but think outside of the box. How can you create value propositions in your market that no one else is doing? Like, some people will, hey, if we buy your house, we're going to buy you a 50-inch flat screen TV or whatever. And some of you might think, oh, you know, they're just going to, you know, make extra money or whatever, or add that kind of into the price, right? And a lot of people think that. So you got to come up with ways that you're going to stand out amongst every other person that is coming to see the house. So think outside of the box when you are coming up with this. It shouldn't take you a serious amount of time or anything like that. Just sit down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, write out some stuff, think through it. You know, you can browse Google and see what other home buyers are actually doing, or wholesalers, see what their value propositions are, and then try to build something that stands out. Okay, so getting into our next point, the why. All right, so the why. We always hear everyone, motivational speakers, it's the why, right? So what I mean in this scenario is, why should they do business with you over everyone else? And this can be difficult when you are starting out because you haven't necessarily developed that confidence yet. You don't know what, you know, all the terminology is yet. You're not comfortable yet with the business and talking to sellers and buyers right out of the gate, right? So you're going to have to craft the why right? And this is all in the value proposition, right? You're giving value to the seller. Think outside the box. Create a value proposition that when they look at it, they're like, man, you know, this person right here cares, and he's genuine or she's genuine, and they are going to do whatever they have to do to make this happen for me. And I really appreciate that. So come up with, you know, whatever your why is personally, right? Try to tie that in there, right? So you want to make it beyond just, hey, you know, I'm like every other company out there doing this thing. So whatever your big why is, try to find a way to tie that in to your value proposition to make you stand out from everyone else. And again, guys, I know this seems like a little lengthy. Don't overthink this. All right, I just want you to be really ready as we are going through the rest of these steps and we start marketing, we start talking to sellers. I want you to have the best chances possible for success right from the beginning, okay? So that's why I'm not just starting step one. Hey, go out there and send 1 million text messages, start talking to people, even though you might not know what the hell you're talking about, because that wouldn't make any sense. That's not serving me or serving you. That's too much action right from the beginning, right? So this is action. This is actually putting together yourself a value proposition that will help build your confidence and be more comfortable when you start talking to those sellers. And that, my friends, is key. All right, so let's get into number 4. Okay, so brand your story. Now, when I say brand, I'm not saying that you got to go out there and build all the branding for your company now, get a website, get all that stuff. That is not what I mean. I mean, how are you going to start representing your brand that as you keep going and moving forward, right, progressing in the business, you are going to be building out a brand in those markets that you're in. So your story, right? I always like tying your story into your brand, right? And so whatever really resonates with you, what have you been through in life? What separates you? Going back to the why, right? What is separating you from everyone else? How can you integrate your story into the brand? Like a lot of people do more of like a family vibe, a local home buyer, so there's a lot of that. But you just think about it, guys. So what is your story? And I can't tell you what that is for you. You just need to take your story and use that, right, as you are crafting your brand and you're building out this business. And that is my opinion on it. So, guys, if you have any questions, comments about any of this stuff that we covered, make sure, get in the comments below. I'm going to personally go in there and make sure I'm interacting with all of you to help you whatever you possibly need and get you going on this journey, because I want to see you crush it. I want to see you be so successful, and I really, really mean that. So, guys, drop me a like. Make sure you are subscribed. I really, really appreciate it. And I am going to do everything I can in this series to get you doing deals consistently, okay? That is my goal. I want to help as many of you as I possibly can. So, guys, remember, it's a lifestyle. Doing whatever it takes to do whatever you want. I love you. See you on step 3. Peace.